Hi, everyone.
Yep.
Welcome to another episode of WYTPod, the online community for e-commerce entrepreneurs and business owners. Today, we have a very special guest with us. She's the Director of E-commerce and Marketing at Amerex and the CEO and co-founder of DR Wellness, LLC. And her name is Soribel Fernandez. Soribel, thanks a lot for joining us today. How are you?
I'm good. It's a pleasure to be here, Mark. I mean, I'm very excited and I was very flattered by the invitation. So I hope that my insights help everyone out there to do what we do, which I love, which is marketing and e-commerce and anything related to creating a better experience for our customers, even online or in our brick and mortar.
Fantastic. That's what it's all about, isn't it? And it's really heartening to see how many entrepreneurs and business owners are really willing to share and help out and share their best practices. So great to have you here.
Great.
So
Let's get to
just
it.
to, just to get us started so we can learn a little bit more about you, would you mind sharing a bit of your background?
Sure. Well, as probably as everybody did, went to school, got a degree in marketing and communications. I decided to do my master's in international business because I love to learn about different cultures and cross frontiers. I'm a firm believer that you can do business everywhere in the world, and as long as you do it right, you can actually be successful in any market and different markets. So that's why I decided to go that route. I started marketing since I even started in school, being a buyer, merchandiser. Then I got another role as an assistant buyer. Then I got another role as a complete merchandise buyer. From there, went directly into marketing and trade shows, and from there went into being VP for startups and also in B Labs Venture during my time in Blue Liner and a marketing agency. I was in the other side of the business, which is I'm servicing customers, and that allowed me to learn a lot about different spectrums of markets and brands and different types. I went from tourism, health and wellness, just health and hospitality, and also consumer goods. So it was a very big of abroad, and from there into fashion, which is right now, let's put it this way, 80% of my time, to put it that way. And then the other 20% is doing consulting for emerging brands and also related to e-commerce and mostly fashion and wellness and travel.
Wow, that's what you call ground up knowledge, I guess. And I'm sure it serves you well every day when you're managing your business.
It does. It does. The beauty of it is that you get a plate and you have different pieces of food. That's the way that I see it. So you go to a buffet and you take a scoop of this and a scoop of that and a scoop of that. And at the end of the meal, you have different flavors that you can actually evaluate and think, okay, I like this better. I like this route better. I like this one better. I don't like this one this much. I'm not disliking this one. So let's get to be focused. I mean, like I said, I've been doing this almost for 15 years. I started with hardware, which is not a very sexy thing to do. I mean, screws and bolts and those type of things are not sexy at all. And then coming into fashion when you say like, oh my God, this is really, really nice. It's like a big spectrum. And in the middle, I had hospitality, I had health and wellness, I had pet food as well, and also directly to see brands that were just going into market and emerging. So it's been a journey, and I will not change any of it. Definitely not.
Fantastic. I really appreciate the food analogy. You got my full attention there. That resonates with me. But in seriousness, though, that was yeah, well formed. Okay, so can you tell us more about DR Wellness? What's it all about?
Yeah. During 2020, 2019, search that came the idea with my great friend Sarah Khalid, that we decided to put together a project that was going to be focused on as a consulting firm that will go targeted at the beginning was targeted only for health and wellness travel as a wellness travel. when you look into the wellness travel industry, it's an emerging industry that potentially can be over $9 million just in a year, and it keeps growing, especially when the pandemic hit. So we put together an event that unfortunately we couldn't do due to the pandemic because all markets closed, all
Yeah.
events closed, and everything just went down. But we were very successful, even though during the time that the pandemic emerged, I mean, I got complete funding of the event just on promotions, and we're talking about $150,000. Just the 150,000 just on the event itself, with the
Right.
interest of many markets, not only from the United States, but also from all the islands in the Caribbean and the Latin American markets that are emerging as wellness travel, where I had sponsorships from the Costa Rican Tourism Department, from the Dominican Republic Tourism Department, from the Jamaican Consul Tourism, people that are actually just very hungry for bringing in wellness travelers. Why wellness travelers? Well, the wellness traveler expend 50% more than the regular traveler.
Right. I mean,
You're
I'm just
you're
trying to
going
eat right, and I know how expensive that is. I mean,
exactly.
it ain't cheap.
So imagine traveling into a hotel that has a custom program according to your health needs and what you want to accomplish during that vacation. So instead of you can have a fun vacation without having to have a vacation after the vacation because you are totally toasted.
Sure. Yeah.
In other words, you come back totally renewed. So that was the concept at the beginning. And unfortunately, like I said, by circumstances, markets, and all this other stuff didn't work out as we expected. But it has transformed into a more consulting firm where we're not only focusing on wellness travel and wellness and tourism, but we have also opened the doors due to my experience on e-commerce to fashion brands, to consumer brands, to anybody that would like to go into market and would like to have a excellent user experience on the website, inside and out, meaning the front face and the back end, and all the process from the moment that the customer even calls you over the phone to the moment that they receive the goods and afterwards. And creating the whole communication strategy, creating all the steps, put it that way. And
Yeah.
here it is your plan. We deliver it to you. You either have two choices. You either want me to do it for you and with you. I actually prefer the word with you, not for you.
Yeah.
And yeah, and or we just, deliver it and off you go.
Sensational.
So that
It's really not easy to remain committed to this kind of lifestyle. I mean, I think it takes work and dedication. So what you're providing is key, I think. If you know that you're supported when you're doing it, from beginning to end, that's huge.
especially for new brands where we actually know that, I mean, it doesn't have to cost you an arm and a leg to get the guidance. So I know how it is to deal at that seed stage, at that entrepreneurial stage where you are just like, scrambling any nick and dime and getting someone that can provide you some guidance at an affordable rate and at your own pace. I think it is incredible and it's amazing. I know that when I used to have it and I used to do it, people were so appreciative of it and always been appreciative of it. And I advocate for my clients all the time. Like I've been an inbound professional from HubSpot, the CRM that I'm certified for, and even Salesforce. And the people there says like, we don't even get it. You advocate for the clients more than anybody else that we already know. And I'm like, yeah, because I know these are the little guys, so you have to help them out. If you want them to
Yeah.
become your big guys, help them out. You have to help them out. I cannot treat
Sure.
the $2 million person as the same as $100,000 person. It's impossible.
Agreed. Yeah. So it's commendable and must be very rewarding for you, I imagine. It sounds like you're
Yeah,
living the dream, like doing what you love for a living, right?
I love to help people. I do. I love to help people. I mean, when I think about it, it's more than just building a website. It's more just than building a brand. You're actually building someone's dream. I mean, when someone decides to go on their own path as an entrepreneur and build their own company, it's their dream. They're doing it. They're doing
Yeah.
it because they feel it. They're doing it because they want to. It's their dream. And being part of that dream, I will say that any consulting firm, anybody should think about it in that way. I'm helping you building your dream. And that's incredible. It's like with your kids. I mean, when your kid wants to go to college and tells you, I want to go to college, you do anything and everything that you can to
Right.
be able to support that dream.
Absolutely. Very well said. All right. So, for the rest of our community, what are some of the challenges that you faced when you started your e-commerce business, and how did you overcome those challenges?
Oh my goodness. Well, the major one, as
You can just
everybody
pick the
knows, is
top three if you want. I don't want you.
the top three. I will say the top one is funding. I mean, you know that everybody knows
Yeah.
that. To be able to get that funding going, to be able to keep that cash flow going,
Sure.
it's challenging. It's really challenging, and that's probably the reason why I decided to take a full-time position at Amaret Group when the opportunity showed up. Said, I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave DR Wellness, no, by any means. But in order for me to keep going with everything that goes on DR Wellness, I need a baseline. Either if you have people that are investing on your dream, great, good for you. I mean, great, let's do this. Great, you have the investment, you have the investors, fantastic. But there's so many people like me that haven't got the chance to be able to get the investment that is needed to really come out of the floor with a strong platform. So what you need to do is try to find ways on how to build that, how to put that platform so you can actually be, let's put it this way, self-funded. So I think, how do I overcome it? I found different ways. I went to investors, I did investors pitching, I went to meetings, I went to decks, I created all the decks, I went to all the meetings. Some of them are here, others left. How do I compensate it? I took a full-time job. So it's a matter of being creative. Not abandon your dream, just be creative. Do I work Saturdays and Sundays for my clients? Sometimes I do. Do I work after 6 o'clock until 9 o'clock? Yes, I do.
So that leads me into my next question. It's about time management. How are you managing two high-profile positions at the same time? You're a director of marketing and e-com at Amerex, and also your position at DR Wellness, which is, I'm sure quite demanding as well. How do you manage both?
My father, just in peace, used to say that when you love what you do, it's not work. So it happens to be that the two positions that I have are very rewarding for me, very, very rewarding. And that allows me to, thanks also to automation, because I'm not gonna lie, thanks also to automation and workflows and creating all these little ants that
Yeah,
work for you on the
it
back
kind of
end.
forces you to learn about automation, I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I love that programmatic space where I can create, if this happens, and this happens, and this is going to delete that. And just go in there and check it once a week, twice a week, and make sure that everything is fine and everything is working and giving results. Believe me, I rely on automation 100%. So do I work 8 to 5, 9 to 8? Yeah, 3, 4 days a week. And I also have my weekends where I block them out. At least 2 weekends at the month, I'm not available for anybody, so I can take time to recharge, rethink. And believe me,
Sure.
during those weekends, my brain is working. My brain is thinking what to do and how can I improve this and how can I improve that and how can I give this and how can I give that. So because I love what I do.
Yeah, it's hard to
Um,
stop the gears turning, isn't
yeah, sometimes I wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning and I'm taking a shower and I'm like, oh, you know what? I can actually do this. And I write it down right away. And put it as a reminder on my phone and I do it when the reminder sets me up just because of those ideas.
it? Fantastic. That reminds me of my dream journal. I wake up, you only remember the dream for a few minutes, right? So if it was constructive, write it down or you forget. And then when you go back later and read your notes, I mean, you know, so that's just what I do. But all right, good stuff. Now finally, Soribel, is there any message you'd like to pass along to anyone who's thinking of starting a business, or maybe they've already started an e-commerce business?
Well, the first thing will be to ask yourself why. If it's just because you want to start a business, or just because you're tired of being or you want to be self-employed because you're tired of your boss, or because it's really something that you want to do, I will ask myself, the first question will be why. Being your own boss, being an entrepreneur, it requires discipline and requires dedication and being fully committed to make it work. If you cannot answer if your why is not substantial enough, I will say think about it 3 or 4 times more. That will be my best suggestion and my best advice to anybody. And after you find that why, believe me, in those moments where you don't see the light, that why is going to be your anchor to keep going.
Oh, beautifully said. Really nice. All right, Soribel, thanks again for joining us. I'm sure it's going to be uplifting and helpful for many of our community members. Really appreciate your time today. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure, and I hope to see you guys soon again.
Same here.
Okay.
Thanks, Soribel.